alarming allegations about race discrimination in Denver.
And not just anywhere, but the Denver Public School District. And Denver7 investigator Ryan Luby joins us now to tell us how two longtime business owners say they've had enough.
They have absolutely had enough. You see, DPS spends a lot of money renovating and building schools. In fact, it's asking you for $628 million in November. But tonight, you're meeting two Latino men, brothers, who believe they have not and will not get a fair shake in getting the district's business.
The school next to it actually was Lena Archuleta Elementary School. That was done for Denver Public Schools many, many years ago.
Any good business owner knows success often comes from experience.
That's one of the smaller ones. We did some pretty big ones as well.
In Denver, the Roybal brothers, Mike and Ron, both architects, are proud to show you all the work they've done since 1981. The museums, the airport concourses, renovations at the U.S. Mint. Big projects, past and present, that quite literally shape our community. But there's concern.
Mint, museums, yet Denver Public Schools, sorry, that renovation on Swansea Elementary.
No,
nope.
Yeah. We're doing restroom remodels for Denver Public Schools.
They say they're getting the scraps from DPS, no longer the high-dollar contracts they used to get in the 80s and 90s.
After you get a dozen or so rejection letters, you start to wonder, what's happening.
But if history is any guide, they say they know what's happening. And now they're going after DPS in federal court alleging racial discrimination. Here's their evidence. In 2008, the district contracted with women or minority-owned businesses only 2% of the time. In 2014, DPS paid for a disparity report, which found slightly better numbers, but ultimately concluded that women or minority-owned businesses were underutilized.
I think the point to be made is they're not doing a very good job of dealing with our community and respecting our community.
It must make you sick to see those statistics.
It does.
Yes, DPS responded in 2014 and adopted a policy to be more equitable and inclusive on its contracts. On its website today, it says its goal is to hire no less than 24% women or minority-owned businesses, and has so far exceeded that.
Their attitude is, you know what, I don't care if it's for the public or not. We're going to do what we want to do. I'm the king, and I'm going to make the decisions.
But the Roybals point out how the district's dollars for prime contracts, the big ones they care about, are still going to women or minority-owned businesses just 4% of the time. The latest example for them, a renovation of Swansea Elementary School, which is 93% Hispanic. The district said 70% of the architectural work would be done by women and or minority-owned businesses. The Roybals were finalists. In fact, they were the ones who developed the master plan for the project.
It's just unbelievable that they wouldn't want to keep that continuity.
But in the end, who got the big contract? Architects who initially admitted they might not meet the project's goals on diversity.
Today, I can't say with a straight face that I'm going to hit 70%.
It showed us that there's no level playing field.
We firmly reject any allegations.
DPS Superintendent Tom Boasberg spoke with Denver7 Investigates and said the firm in question will not fall short.
The contractor who was awarded the bid, AMD, has committed contractually in writing to meet that goal.
And this district is enforcing that.
We certainly are.
Boasberg would not comment on the Roybals case specifically, but did say on the whole, the district will not ever discriminate against the people it hires.
We think it's very important that we seek out and work with and recruit the most talented group of contractors, of diverse contractors in the city and in the state. And we think that's a very important part of the program locally and a critical part of making sure that we are using taxpayer dollars in the best possible way to serve our kids.
Altogether, you might ask, well, maybe the Roybals are just not good at their jobs and don't deserve the district's business regardless of their race. But consider this. DPS wrote them a letter of recommendation in 2001 saying this firm has demonstrated the design and technical expertise in DPS schools project.
When we did the project, they said they highly recommend us.
The Roybals feel they have to stick their necks out this time, that they have no other choice, if not for themselves, for other people like them.
It may not, in the short term, help us at all, but I think these kinds of discussions in the public eye will really serve to change things in the future.
Well, the district says it will take time for it to meet its relatively new diversity goals and change perceptions. Denver7 Investigates is not done looking into this issue and others like it. Are the Roybals alone? You'll want to stay tuned in days to come. Shannon?
Ryan Luby tonight. Thank you for that report.